What is the most powerful trait we have? You need power, speed. Let your imagination do the rest.
Undisputed, the Mexican Monster Pack out now.
Boxing King Media. We're here in Johnny's nest, garden nest. Chickens in the back, dogs running riot. Jeffrey stinks as usual. He need to sort his guts out, Johnny.
You're lucky. We've just got rid of the ponies out the back, so yeah. It's just nice and quiet. This is my sanctuary here, so it works for me well.
It's a beautiful evening today here in Sheffield. What a great day to speak about the weekend's boxing, Johnny. You was there, or you was there? You were sat in the Royal Box, weren't you?
Yeah, I was. I was there, and it was actually nice. The role was different, and I could actually enjoy it like a fan. And I was hosting a hospitality suite, and it was actually pretty cool. And you just being amongst the fans, and it was just nice to see that side of it and enjoy the fight as well. And it was good. I was with Derek Redmond, I can't remember, Ricky Hatton. There was a few of us there. Lawrence Lalio. There was a few of us there, and it was just cool. It was all right. It was just nice to watch it. And I think initially, when this fight was announced, I thought Frank's been really ambitious putting this fight at Wembley. Really ambitious. I thought it's not going to sell. And if you're into boxing, you know you get it. It's a good fight. But to fill out Wembley, you need that crossover appeal where your granny, who don't even know boxing, she's got word of it. She's found out about it, and they watch it. And this is why it wasn't full. And it wasn't. They'll tell you it was full. The place wasn't full, and I know they were giving tickets away at some point. So I hear they were giving tickets away at some point. But it wasn't full. It was just an ambitious shout from Queensbury to do that, which I hear. I get that. There was hoping it'd sell better than it did. Then you look at the fight itself. You look at Alexander USYK. This guy's his conduct in and out of the ring before, during, and after the fight is the reason why when he walked in, he was cheered as loud as Daniel, who's from here. When he won, he was cheered louder than any Brit that was born and bred here. And that's why he's a fan favourite. The fans love him because he's one of the very few fighters that when he walked in, they were cheered like they were homegrown talent. And I kind of thought, wow, well done there. Daniel came in, he got a cheer, but I didn't hear one boo. I didn't hear one disgruntled fan watching the fight afterwards. I think how Usyk dealt with the fight, brilliant. What surprised me was,
I want to come to that. I want to slowly break down the whole event before you jump into to the fight, if that's all right with you. Obviously, you just mentioned. To be fair, I thought it must have been 90% full. It was a really good atmosphere, was it not?
This is just my opinion. It wasn't. But you know, at the end of the day, and that's why I said initially, I thought that's ambitious. That's a big shout. But you know, they've got numbers in. I don't know what the real numbers are, but they got the numbers in. Got numbers in, and there were fans there. So the people that were there, they were fight fans more than anything else.
Indeed, you said you mentioned there with regards to Usyk's conduct before the fight. You know, one of the things that he said during fight week was, and he's never done it before, he predicted that he'd win by knockout. I spoke to Alex Krasik yesterday, who was being with Alexander from his professional debut, and when I told him this, he goes, he's never ever heard him do that before. He normally predicts like a win, but he will never say I'm going to win by knockout of points.
If you look at the footage, I think it was the day before the weigh-in. Usyk, they did a face-off, and Usyk stood there, 3 fingers outside, 6 rounds. And when I saw him, like, what's he doing? He's never done that before. My man's like, he's on it. He knows what he's got to do, and he knows what he fancies doing. But he did 6 rounds. I'm like, nah, no way. And then the way he went about the fight, I think it was sheer brilliance. It was sheer brilliance because you've got to look at the task in hand that he had, and we're looking at the improvements of Daniel and how, you know, he's become a giant slayer, especially with his win over AJ. You look at the power he's got. You look at the age he's got. Before I said he's got a puncher's chance. Not in a million years is he got a better boxing brain than Usyk, because again, I think Daniel's very good at remembering in the ring. He's not very good at thinking in the ring. And the first 2 rounds, I think Daniel caught Usyk.
You're in a rush to talk about this fight, but I want to like break it down almost like a timeline. I'm not going to let you jump straight in, Johnny, because we need to tease them a bit and get to that the actual fight itself. So obviously we talked about the fact that he predicted he'd win by a knockout. Do you think that was because of the frustration from his head from getting pushed to getting called a cheat, having his faith questioned? Do you reckon there might have been an element of that? He's not really commented on that.
I think that there might have been a sprinkle of that, a small percentage of that. But I also think that once Usyk's boxed you once, he beats you better the second time. No matter how hard it is, he beats you better the second time. So now you've got to think about it. You've got to think that the first time, after he got put down, then got back up, he had the ability to think in the ring, then he got back up and then still stopped Daniel. He's thinking, I give this boy more credit than he deserved. This guy's not as good as what I actually thought he was, which is why he was confident enough to say, all right, if that's what you think it is, I'm giving you a prediction. I'll show you the difference in class, the gulfs in class. And that's exactly what he did.
And then we get to fight night. You know, it's been one of the biggest talking topics because on the night, a lot of people, I remember there was like a commotion backstage and they were saying, you know, camera crews were going in to film Usyk, either wrapping up or doing a warm-up. But either way, he had his wraps on or they were almost on. And then as that was happening, this is about 8:16 p.m. And Daniel Dubois just walked in with his team at that time into the venue. And then obviously the ring walk was at 10:06. So literally an hour and 50 minutes later, he's walking out to the ring. So what I want to ask you, Johnny, is I don't know if you've seen Simon Jordan's...
I've seen it.
He's come out today and it apparently... again, I don't know where this information's come from, but a few people are talking about it, is the fact that apparently there was a party before the event and then apparently Team Dubois turned up at the show with 60 plus people. Again, this is what Simon Jordan's, is your dog chasing after the chickens, basically saying if these people can't come in to the show, you know, we're not coming in, etc., something like that. So whether that's true or not, I don't know, but that's what's been reported. Have you heard anything, and what do you make of it all?
There's a Bee Gees song, "We're living in a world of fools." And regardless of what you say, and I heard the same thing, and if it is true, I've never heard something so foolish, so self-destructive ever from anybody. Usyk's camp couldn't have done a better job than his dad did. So I heard about there being some kind of party, celebration party before, and I'm like, what are you doing, man? You can't bring that mentality to this game, because when the bell goes, it's muzzle off. It's just you and him, not your crew behind you. So you've got to understand. So you're either stupidly drunk on confidence, or it's all about you. Because when I heard this the night, and when I was there, I'm like, nah. And then when Daniel came, I'm thinking, if that's true, if it's true, you know, your dad's reckless. Your dad's dangerous. Listen, his dad's been given stick before, and Fury's dad's been given stick before because of their conduct outside the ring in the corner. Let me tell you this. To me, it's disrespecting Don Charles. It's disrespecting the man that's been employed to take your boy to the top. Now if my man's putting a party on and saying, we ain't fighting unless all the crew come in, on fight night, he's an idiot. I don't know him personally, so I can't, but what I'm seeing is foolishness. How can you be so stupid? That's street mentality. This is world-class boxing. This is top-level boxing. If you want to bring that stuff to boxing, that's what happens. If you want to bring that mentality to our game, that is what happens. Why would you expect anything else? So you're getting drunk on the adulation, getting drunk on the success. It's pure foolishness. I'd heard that myself. And I thought, wow. And to me, it's a disrespect, a massive disrespect to Don Charles. Because all the hard work they've done, gone. You might as well have not trained at all and just rocked up. Because when Daniel got in there, and Daniel got in there to do his job, and remember also, in the fight, you know when a fight is training, you go through every single thing. And the coach and the trainers, the cornermen, their job is to just take the muzzle off and say, sick him. And no matter what, when you're in there and you've got to get the job done. What happens then is you're not looking to the corner. What do I do now, boss? What's going on? Oh, this has happened. Muzzles off. You've trained for all these things here. This is why I say Daniel had the ability to remember. He doesn't have the ability to think. And so, unfortunately, if you're enabling him to carry on that way, he's going to keep doing that, because we've seen it happen before. But that's taking away the shine of Usyk. Usyk did the job. But what I'm saying is, his dad might as well have been in the opposite corner, because to do things like that, you don't know boxing. You are fortunate to have kids with amazing genes, amazing boxing ability. You've got a daughter, outstanding. You've got a younger son, that again potentially outstanding, but that's in the genes. But your mentality is foolish. You're absolutely foolish. And I'm thinking, do you think it's like, to any top trainer, to anybody that's involved in boxing, to do such a thing is reckless.
Obviously, again, I don't know if this is true. This has only come from Simon Jordan, and obviously you're saying you heard it as well. Are you able to say where you heard this from and how correct the source is?
The source is good. The source is good. And so when I'm hearing these things, I'm like, nah. And so it's popping out left, right, and centre. The source is good. And so to me, I just shook my head. And when I'd heard all this going on before the fight, they had me talking to the crowd upstairs in the hospitality suite. And I just said, it's going to be day and night. This is going to be a better win for Usyk than the first one. It's going to be repeat, not revenge. It's going to be it's going to be repeat, not revenge. And that's exactly what happened.
I will say, obviously, the other aspect of it is the corner work that's also been mentioned. And also Spencer Fearon, I saw him yesterday, and he went to town on that, and he basically said that, similar to you, Don Charles is being disrespected. He's not the voice in the corner, because he's saying there's that many voices, and Daniel's attention was mainly towards what his dad was saying. I will say this, obviously, you've always got to give the other perspective. In the run-up to this fight, he's beaten 3 guys, all 3 fights he was the underdog, and his dad was a key part of them fights. He was in the corner.
Yeah, and he's got away with it. You got away with it, and then all of a sudden, when you're going in at top level, you get away with it so far. You got away with it with Anthony Joshua. God love him. Anthony Joshua is not the fighter he was. That in my book, the old Anthony Joshua, that shouldn't have happened. He got away with it. He's got away with it when he shouldn't have got away with it. So now, he didn't get away with it. He was in there with a top dog. A man was 10 years older than him. This guy, Danny did a better job the first fight when all this was going on. The second fight, he got away with it. And Usyk, we're talking about the improvements of Daniel, but you're forgetting about the improvements of Usyk. He's thinking, what? I give this boy more respect than he deserved, and which is why he beat him up. No, he didn't beat him up. He chopped him up. He chopped him up. The first 2 or 3 rounds, 1 or 2 rounds, Daniel caught him with a shot. Usyk backed off. What? All right. Probably took 2 rounds after 6. Took a round after the 6th round that he was going to take him out. I'm thinking, oh, I know what to do with you.
Okay. Just by pure chance, as we're talking about this, I've just been sent a video, which is what's this here? I don't know if this is a party at Dan's house before the fight, or if this is a changing room. But this here, what do you think? Make of that?
That's before the fight. That's before the fight. That is. That's because he's got no bruises. That's before the fight. And if that is fight night,
That's the what he wore to the ring.
yeah, that is fight night. Trust me. It's just like it baffles me. Absolutely baffles me. Absolutely baffles me, because you think, you know what, Daniel, what's going on there? I just think man's drinking, man's just living up, man's having a good time. I'm just thinking, this is a serious time when you should be locked in, and you can never turn this time back.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I just literally got sent that video during this interview. So what I'll do is I'll make sure it's played on the screen so people can see what we're talking about. Yeah, but it looks like there's a bit of a rave going off.
Again,
have you ever seen anything like that before?
Never. Remember when Roberto Duran boxed Sugar Ray Leonard the second fight? Sugar Ray was chasing down that fight. Roberto Duran was drunk on the success. He was out partying. He wasn't preparing right, all this sort of stuff. He had so many friends slapping him on the back, and then look what happened. And if our game is the only game you can legally get killed. And so if you're surrounded by people that don't know our game, they're going to get you killed. And what's happening there, I'm telling you now, he might as well have worked for USYK's corner, USYK's team. They did a better job of dismantling what happened in the background than USYK's team did.
Is it? It's worth asking you this question if you can answer it. But could obviously it's well highlighted about Dan's autism whether he's diagnosed. I don't know, but I know it's been mentioned by a few people. But is there any element of that gathering having any benefit from that?
No, I can remember when I used to box the femoral title, and I can remember boxing in Italy, and I had quite a few friends come over, and I was in my hotel room, and it's happened before when in Germany many times, and I heard them all going out. I was in my room. They're all going down there. I could hear them all walk past my room because we're all in the same hotel. I heard them all going out. I'm like, damn it. I wish I could go out with them, but I'm the reason why they're there. You've certain things you've got to sacrifice to be at that stage. To me, your mind needs to be focused. Your energies need to be focused. You need to take yourself out of civilian mentality. You go in there with civilian mentality, you catch a beating like a civilian. You've got to go in there like a soldier, think, this is my job, this is my concentration, this is my point. Now, you're talking about, would it have, with the autism, would it have benefited him at all? I don't know, I'm not autistic. Well, I don't think I am. But what I'm saying is, to me, it goes against every single rule in boxing. Every single rule in boxing. And so, if he thinks he's like Venus Williams, this Pop's doing it his own way, he's done it his own way. I love what he's done. His boy should have done better than that. But he's taking it away from USYK. USYK did brilliantly.
And there'll be people in the comments saying, are we making excuses for Daniel here? 100% not. We're basically just talking about the events of the night. And obviously that's something I've personally never heard before. And obviously it's become a big talking point, seeing as that video is going viral right now. And obviously Simon Jordan's...
Let me tell you, when Daniel beat Anthony Joshua, I said Anthony Joshua doing before the fight. And I'll say how it is. If I don't think you're going to win, I'm going to say, it don't mean I dislike you. It just means that's just my opinion. Everybody's entitled to an opinion. I went into the dressing room after. And I was thinking, boy, you're good, man, because I publicly said AJ does him. I went into the dressing room after. It was packed out. All Daniel's boys in there. They're, why? You just, give me some stick. And I thought, I've come to take my licks, man. I didn't think you'd do that. And I said, you know what? And they all boo me, jeer me, give me a hassle. I said, boys, listen to me. I've come to take my legs. I got that wrong. I was out of order. His old man was sat down, and his old man, I could sense it was kind of like it was personal to him, me saying this. And I think he was trying to G up to make it more than anything else, make it more personal. And I went, what? Stop. I said, I've come to say, you know what? I got it wrong. I apologize. I didn't think your boy could do that. I've come to give him his props. And he still kept going on. I said, all right, I get you. And they were all there. Me one went in. I said, you don't understand, I've come to take my legs. I'm not going to say this at the other side of an arena and hope I don't bump into you, because this is how I deal with it. I've come to take my legs. We've done well. So give them a bit of adulation. And Don Charles was sat there. I said, but this is to his dad. I said, but let me tell you, you see that man right there? What he's done for your boy, he's done amazing things for your boy. He's got your boy right there. No. He said, DUBOIS, it's God's work that did it. I'm looking at Don, thinking, Don, these people, this man's not respecting you, man. You've done an amazing, give him some props. And his father couldn't give him the props. And from there, I thought, you ain't the corner man. You're not the corner man. Don's a good trainer. And I've always said, Don, if you get a good fighter, people will see how good a trainer you are. And he got a fighter that look what he did with Daniel. But unfortunately, it's Pops. And around him, I'm thinking, Pops, listen to me. You're great at motivating your son. If you're a good boxing trainer, train the boy yourself. You do it. You get in there and do this. You know how to, so there's certain times that you can bring that mentality into that professional forum. You can't do it when it comes to top level. You can't do that. And that's the consequences.
What did you make of the corner work on the night? Again, it's been highlighted that Dan was looking at his dad rather than his trainers, listening to them. I don't know if you noticed that or not.
My argument is this. If you're training, and you're getting ready for a fight, you're spending 3 months getting ready for a fight. When you get in the ring, your coach's job is just to take the muzzle off you go. Because you know everything what you've got to do, every instinct, every part of your body's ready, it's tuned in. So no, if a fighter throws a shot and you get hit with the shot, you come back, bap, 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 bap. I'm not looking saying, what next, boss? Because that is your job, that's your responsibility. You're the one that's doing the fighting. The reason why you're successful is because you have the talent to get the success. But what's happening there is Daniel's still, it's like he's still like depending on pops or somebody. No. And so these guys are enabling him to still depend on everybody else. He's the talent. He's the one that can fight. So he's got to believe himself to say, you know what, I actually can do this. I don't need you to cheer me, lead me. Once I knew I could fight, once I believed in myself, I didn't give a shit what anybody said about me. No matter Nelson's boring, he can't do it. So I didn't care because I knew what I was capable of doing. So I didn't need the adulation and validation from anybody else. If you're a champion, that is who you are. Once you know what you can do. And so again, when I saw that, I thought, well, you want to get away with that, but that's just pure madness. Because Usyk's a clever guy. Usyk's looking at the back, looking how this is working, and he's thinking, I got this kid's number. I get a whisper that people say he quit, he stayed on the floor, he got beat up. And Usyk was going to get worse and worse. Look at the size difference. Look at the Danny was the bigger guy, the bigger puncher out the two of them. He got to a point where he wasn't even letting the shot score because you only have one time to make a first impression. So the first time he boxed him, Usyk's got to try and figure out what's going on. Then after that, Usyk thought, I've got his number, I know his strengths, I know his weaknesses. Daniel's in there with him the second time thinking, oh, better not throw that shot because he caught me last time. So he's like, trying to second guess it. They've all done it. AJ did it, Fury did it, they've all done it. And so I just think, when it gets to that stage there, that foolishness shouldn't even come into it. You take the muzzle off, get the job done.
Indeed, Usyk did get the job done. I think you kind of semi-answered that last question I was going to have for you. In your opinion, did he quit? Because there's a few people out there shouting that he quit.
He's become dependent on the cheerleaders. He's become dependent on people like to look there, to say, what's happening here? You want to, as a fighter, if you're down and you've got that little bit of fight left in you, I'm back into this. I don't need, it's your job to drag me out. I'm not looking at you saying, "Anna, stay down" or whatever. Or shall I do this? Can I do this? No. He's become dependent on that barking. He's become dependent on some outside help. He's become dependent, and they've enabled it. No, he didn't quit. He did the best he can, and and you know what? He gave up.
Last question for you, Johnny. Are the British media being too critical of our sportsmen in this situation? Because he's ultimately lost to one of the all-time greats in twice. But prior to that, he's run a really good run. People are saying he's the next Mike Tyson, next best thing. And now everyone's jumping up.
He's 27 years old.
Yeah.
He's not done. There needs to be some fundamental changes, which I don't think will happen. Are the media being criticising him? You see what you see. You've seen an outstanding fighter in Alexander Usyk that's left a trail of destruction. So that's a given. Everybody sees that. But then you look at the other side. Yeah, but why did you guys do that? Why did you let that happen? To me, it's like the biggest thing going. How having a party just before they come in. Everybody coming in. He ain't coming if we have that game done. I've seen that happen once when Fury boxed Klitschko in Germany, and Fury and the squad came down in the daytime, long time before the fight to check the ring. And when he came down to check the ring, the canvas was thick, and Fury's with his dad, and they're saying you need to take that out. And it was like morning time. You need to take that out. That's too thick. And Klitschko's like, no, we're not doing that. And Fury's dad was like, we're going. We're not coming. We're going. Fight's off. We're going. We're not doing it. And I'm looking at this thinking, the player's being played because it's a bluff. He ain't going anywhere. We're going, shouting loud. And so they made him take the extra 2 inches off the canvas. And it rattled Klitschko because he's always had it his own way. You ain't doing this 2 hours before a fight. This was in the morning. Because what you do is you go down and check the rings, check everything's there. You create some drama then. And it's the last hustle. That hustle right there, wrong place, wrong time, wrong move. And if you're gonna do that, you know what you do, Daniel. You stay. Daniel shouldn't have been at the party. Make him have a party. Make him celebrate. Why do you need Daniel? You just don't. And I just think, nah. To me, I'm telling you, it's sacrilege, man. It's just wrong.
Well, Spencer Fearon's predicting that Don Charles and Kieran Fowler will be given their P45s in his words. And again, these guys were trainers of the year one fight ago. Can you realistically see that happening?
I could. It would be very unfair. But then Don has to put his foot down. But the thing is this: if you've been a coach and you've been in our sport for so long, you need to be financially compensated to be in a point where you've got, excuse my French, Brendan's word, you've got fuck off money. So when people are giving you shit, you'll say, you know what, I don't care. I'm all right. I don't have to bow to you. Don has just got himself to that stage, so he can't cuss people out and tell them to F off. Sorry for swearing. So he's not at that stage, and he's letting people talk to him like shit, letting people disrespect him because it reflects on him. And so that could happen. But Don, I hope you got paid brilliantly from that fight, and it puts you in a position where you don't take that foolishness from nobody. If you want, Dan Don can say, if you want me to train your son, if you want me to train your fighter, I'm training him. Get out. I did something with Buddy McGirt yesterday, and we were talking about this, and Buddy's laughing, and he said, "That's it. You know, if I'm in there with a fight, I'm training him. If you want me to train him, I'm training him, and that means I'm training. Get out." Brendan wouldn't let everybody, when a fighter come to the gym with his parents or his dad or his entourage, Brendan say, out, stay outside, you way outside. And he wouldn't have any of that foolishness, because you've got to understand, it's a completely different world. Everybody gets brave with somebody else. The only person that suffers the consequences is the fighter. He's the one that gets a beating. He's the one that gets humiliated. The only name we're talking about now is Daniel Dubois getting done, not about the foolishness that's going on in the background that contributed to it. So again, Alexander Usyk did a job on him, and he took advantage of every single thing, and he was probably always going to do the job on him. What I'm saying is, Daniel's team might as well be Team Usyk, because the damage they did was far worse than what Usyk's team did or said.
Going to leave it on that note, Johnny. Appreciate your time, and just in case anyone's wondering, that's Johnny's granddaughter running right in the background. Chickens, and Jeffrey the dog, who's getting fatter every time. He needs to go on one of these fasting diets, Johnny. You need to get him fasting. But yeah, appreciate your time, and I think next time around we'll have a catch up about Usyk's future. I think we'll save that for another time, because I think it's been quite an intense chat about the fight, because it's disappointing, because like I said, Daniel has done great, and it's obviously come to this.
I find it disgusting, and unfortunately you can't turn back time, and maybe in 5-10 years time I think, why we did that wrong. But high stakes, but you know what, that's his journey. Daniel, I think, can be a world champion, but he needs to change that, but the backroom staff, and I don't know if he has the strength, mental strength, attitude, and the right people around him to do that, because, you know, the motivating factor is his own man, and I think his own man proper dropped the ball.
Johnny Nelson, thank you very much for your time.
The most powerful trait we have. You need power, speed. Let your imagination do the rest.
Undisputed, the Mexican Monster Pack out now.